Okay, what's up? It's Stevan Micic. I'm here in Waseda University. I'm here training with the Waseda wrestling team. I just did a clinic and I'm going to show you guys what it's like to work out here in Japan, in Tokyo. So make sure to go and subscribe. Let's get to it. Alright guys, so I was in Japan basically for a family trip, and that's the reason that I came here. I've been there 2 times before, once for the Tokyo Olympic Games in 2021, and then in 2023 I did a camp and trained in Japan for 2 weeks, and it's probably one of my favorite places. Tokyo is my favorite international city, and my sisters were begging me because they couldn't come to the Olympic Games due to COVID regulations in the country, that they wanted to go to Japan really bad. So me, along with my sisters and my brother-in-law, the 4 of us went to Japan for 2 weeks, and we spent 1 week in Tokyo. While I was there, I actually did a camp in a clinic at Waseda University, where I'm training at here in the video. And, you know, because of my connections with Yui Suzaki and also my friend Rin Zut and Taro, who you guys met or you see in the video who I'm training with, you know, we actually ended up having, you know, good relationships, and we kind of made something work for the day. And that's kind of what I was doing there. Okay. Today they just had a U20 Nationals this weekend, so today's like a little bit easier day where they're just kind of like sparring, getting hurried up, technique a little bit, and moving their body again. So when you think about Japanese wrestling, a lot of everyone thinks how much live wrestling, but in reality, they gotta have days like this where they focus, reset, and work on technique a lot. And super cool coming in. These guys, Taro had me, you know, I met him last time in Tokyo when I was here training at PTS, and also Rin as well, who's a senior here, and he translated for me in my clinic, so really cool having them here. So the University for Yui Suzaki as well, and Suzaki Hada's father, the godfather of wrestling, so excited. Once I did the clinic with the kids and the high school students, afterwards I came into wrestling practice there, and you know, kind of got to roll around with the guys, and it was you know, a really great practice. I think overall the camp was good because teaching my style of wrestling, American/European style, it's great to teach to the Japanese wrestlers because it's such a conflicting style. A lot of wrestling's a little bit different, and you know, I just find it really interesting if I were to learn from a Japanese wrestler that came to America where I grew up and learned my school of wrestling from, being vice versa, you know, being a world champion and having wrestled many Japanese wrestlers in my career, including Takahashi, Rei Higuchi, Hasegawa. So wrestling those 3 guys and also, you know, competing against them, it helps with just the understanding of the sport from different lenses and different angles of wrestling. So I think I was able to help out a lot. This practice, for the most part, was pretty light because they just finished with a competition. But what's nice to know is, you know, especially from the last time I was there, training was very, very difficult when they're in training camp. There's a lot of hard wrestling, a lot of live and matches. The clock's going constantly, and you have, you know, 3, 4, 5 opponents sprinting at you, trying to go with you next. They're giving it their all. And, you know, that's kind of how we think of Japanese practices, but go isn't something you could do 24/7. I think the Japanese wrestlers are very, very smart people, and they understand how to prepare properly for tournaments. I mean, look at how they prepare for the Olympic Games, especially competing when it counts. So making sure people feel good and making the right technical adjustments they need for opponents that, you know, have had dominance. And you know, look at how Takatani took out Dake. Look how Kiyuka beat Amuzad from Iran in the 65 kilo finals, and just the consistency of Rei Higuchi over the years, winning many medals, World and Olympics. So I think overall Japan knows how to prepare. And
hey everybody, it's Steve Micic here. This Friday, May the 16th, I'm excited to announce to you guys the startup of our new World Champ Camp online training academy. We're going to be doing all levels here, from beginners to intermediate to advanced levels. I'm really excited about it. We're bringing to you over 20 years of experience at the world-class level. We've done it all. We've made all the mistakes, and we're hoping to share with you a lot of the techniques that we've used over the years so that you can fast-track yourself onto success and not going through the same mistakes that we've made over the years. You can click on the link below to get notifications and to see when you can and where you can go to sign up for our Patreon. Appreciate it, and looking forward to seeing you on the other side.
So this practice was really cool because not only were we wrestling and drilling with each other a lot and sparring, it was a good time to sit down and talk with each other and talk about things we needed to work on and things they needed to work on. You know, I know some of the guys that competed in the tournament. Coach Taro was sitting with them and doing video review with them after practice, or in middle of the practice would just kind of take a break from the drilling and the sparring to go over and sit down on the iPad and watch the matches and review the matches from that weekend. And I think that's something that's kind of unspoken and not unheard of, but it's something that we don't talk much about when we think about Japanese wrestling. I think we're always thinking about just in general how the wrestling is hard and they wrestle a lot of live, but to keep getting better, you have to keep adjusting, and you need to, think about and break down your wrestling and come back to it, figure out what you're doing right and wrong, how to get rid of those mistakes, and how to implement good habits. And that's what they were doing in this practice that I came in. So I was very blessed to have that. Also, because of just the training that I had, I think I was pretty out of shape. So honestly, with, the jet lag and stuff, it was kind of nice to go easy and soft and not just get pounced on by a bunch of Japanese guys trying to compete, prove themselves to me in the wrestling room, which I was looking forward to a little bit, but it was kind of a nice refresher that I still was able to get some workouts in with the guys, roll around, and get a feel in with them. Having this opportunity to, cross over in the world of Japan and in the country of Japan, where I feel like wrestling is starting to become a sport where we're starting to exchange different thoughts and theories and different skills and techniques in the sport and different workout styles and be able to take from them. And I always say this, it's one of my favorite things in wrestling is that about wrestling, it's one of those only sports where individually you can do moves that other people can't, and because that's what makes you great, and you can take those techniques and skills and use them to your advantage, and it makes you and shifts you and builds you into a special wrestler. So being able to cross paths with these Japanese wrestlers and learn from them, also teach them my style and my ways, and give them new perspectives on things, could also help wrestlers in the future. It was cool too, just sparring with a lot of the other guys and feeling them out no matter what their weight range was. I even was able to wrestle with a guy who was 92 kilos. He just made the U20 world team for Japan. Waseda is a smaller university. It's not like NSSU or YGU, which you guys have probably heard about me talk about, where, Ono's from or where Higuchi's from. Waseda is a lot of history in the university. It's we're the godfather of wrestling, where Tadaki Hata, my good friend, his father, was the founder of the wrestling at the university, and kind of was who really made wrestling big in Japan and back in the 1950s. And not only that, but Waseda has a lot of history. Like I said, Yui Suzuki is also from this school. It's a small university. I think they only had like 10 people on their team, but it's crazy that 2 out of the people that just made U20 world teams, and then at U23 they had silver medalists, so that means the 3 of them will be wrestling at the Asian Championships at U23. So that's a pretty star-studded team, if you to say the least. But overall, I was excited to see it. I was able to feel like I had an impact on the youth, the high school kids, also with the college guys as well, and just building relationships, because that's what wrestling's all about at the end of the day. Creating relationships, meeting new friends, traveling around, and spreading love for the sport of wrestling around the world. I think that's what's most important. So guys, like I said before, make sure to go subscribe to the channel, turn notification bells on, and yeah, go subscribe. All right, world champs in everything we do. See ya.